Good morning, this is Monika from Inspired and Intentional again, and today we'll be doing a get ready with me before I go to the gym, and we will just have a little chat. And by we, I mean viewer and me. I am alone in this bathroom. So, bear with me. I would like to reiterate that I have no idea what I'm doing with makeup. I am just trying to learn because when I wear it, it helps me give confidence, and I used to really like makeup, but the only makeup I used to do when I really liked makeup was like super big emo scene makeup and black everywhere, and I just don't do that anymore. It doesn't fit me anymore. So relearn with me as we go here. Let me bring out the supplies I need for at least the first step. Okay, so for this video, I kind of want to discuss how I am starting up at the gym again with chronic pain and chronic conditions. So, I talked about how in the last video I was waiting on a rheumatology appointment, but I for sure have been diagnosed with and have scoliosis, and I've had a spinal fusion surgery. But I have since spoken with the rheumatologist, and that appointment did not go how I expected, to be honest. I was expecting to feel heard and to have some extra tests done and ran, and instead I was given the label diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And if you're in the Spoonie community at all, you know that that's kind of a doctor's I don't really want to deal with you, I don't really know what to do with you, I don't really want to do the further tests required to diagnose you properly diagnosis. So I have a few feelings about that, but I'm trying to mostly use it as a positive. Okay, so the ways that I think of it as a positive is, number one, I work in finance and insurance for my day job, so I understand that with fibromyalgia, it's not like an uninsurable condition. Which is kind of nice because the other condition I thought I had was definitely a non-insurable condition. So that's a positive. And like every other condition I have where I'm on the waiting list to find out about, it is a primarily chronic stress triggered condition, which doesn't surprise me. I'm not stressed anymore, but when all of my symptoms started getting crazy and really bothering me was right after I left a really toxic relationship. And I think that between the stress of that relationship and the stress with some other people in my life at the time, my body couldn't cope with the same way, which is fine. It sucks. I'm not wanting to place blame, but I feel like from a reflection standpoint, that might be the period of my life where it came from, which is fine. But considering that all of my conditions are stress triggered to begin with, and nervous system flare triggered as well, like flares are triggered by nervous system and all that stuff, I did a whole bunch of research after my rheumatology appointment about how to calm my nervous system and how to still reach my goals and do what I want to do in life with my conditions, because having lifelong conditions for a lot of people is a huge barrier. And yes, it will always be a barrier in my life for certain things. I'm not denying that. And I'm not saying that I'm going to completely ignore my conditions. But I have ambitions and goals that I want to do, and I have control over some of my health in regards to the fact that the rheumatologist said that all of my conditions are non-curable but manageable by the patient. So this is, I guess, where I come in and work on managing my own health and managing my symptoms myself. So my plan henceforth is primarily just trying to make sure that I live the healthiest life that I can and be the healthiest person I can. So that looks like modifying my workouts for allowing for extra stretching and doing shorter sets at higher weight to reduce the stress and fatigue on my body and trying not to send myself into flares. I did research on that yesterday, and that was actually something they said, higher weight and lower reps. So we're going to be trying that out today at the gym and seeing how that goes. But yeah, because everything is controllable, or not controllable, but like manageable by me, it kind of, the diagnosis, additional diagnosis, kind of spurred an extra like intentional burst. I don't know what else to call it, but like spurred the desire to be extra intentional in my life and really to control what I can control and be the best me I can be while listening to my body and while learning all of the things that will help my body. And so obviously researching how to work out the way I want to with fibromyalgia and chronic pain is something I already had to accommodate my workouts for scoliosis anyway. So it's not a whole huge issue for me. But it is a learning curve regardless. And I don't quit. I don't intend to quit lifting heavy. I really enjoy it. It helps my mental health. It helps bring me clarity, and it helps give me energy and clarity to create during the day and to do all of the things that I do and to chase the things that I want to do. So I have no intention of stopping that whatsoever. And we're gonna figure it out as we go. And I'm lucky because I found a few really good podcasts. I did some research into a few people who discuss fibromyalgia and living their best life and all of that stuff. And although I'm saying that I'm not going to push through extra pain and I'm not going to like hurt myself by pushing myself into extra flare-ups, I will say that I am a very stubborn human, okay? And this is both for the benefit and downfall of myself sometimes, but mostly for the benefit, in the fact that I am almost too stubborn for my own good, in the fact that I refuse to let my diagnosis shape my life going forward other than the way that I treat my body. I refuse to let it force me into a box, and I'm going to be in pain every day anyway, so I may as well strategically use fitness and do fitness anyway, because the pain's going to be there whether I sit and just focus on creativity and don't work out at all, or whether I work out and start to provide strength to my body. And I know that one of the key things that patients can do to manage their own symptoms is physical activity and being fit. And I know everybody says start with like yoga and do small intentional practices of like 10 minutes for when you just get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. But I've done that before, and I will be doing it. I will be doing yoga and stretching. That's not to say that I won't be doing it, but I've done all of that before. So what really brings me joy is the lifting heavy and the energy, the endorphins, the clarity, everything that goes with that, and how I create after is always so much fun and so much better. So in light of all those things, I am not going to stop lifting heavy. And because I've also lifted heavy before, my body and muscle memory, like, they already know what to do. I give it a little bit of consistency and my body just will already take over and know what to do because it already has. And again, I'm not saying that I'm trying to be as buff as I was before or as jacked as I was before, because that's not the intention, just doing it for fitness. But I do aspire to be the healthiest version of myself and the best version of myself and the most capable version of myself. So that is why it is a Saturday morning and we are doing a get ready with me before I go to the gym. So that's kind of where we're at right now and how I'm feeling about it. And on that very same note, when I was jacked, I worked out 7 days a week for 2 to 3 hours a day, and I was employed as a group fitness trainer at a gym, doing demos and working out with the clients and pushing them harder because they always worked harder when you were doing it with them. So needless to say, I was doing a lot, and I'm not doing that this time. This time, I do know my body enough to know that 7 days a week would very much hurt me and delay my progress and set me back. So I am doing 3 days a week with an optional flex day. If I'm having a really good week and I want to go again, I will go for 4, but no more than 4. And I feel like that's a good balance for me, especially as I'm navigating these new symptoms, and also entrepreneurship and business ownership and self-employedness and just having time for creativity and all of those things. So I feel pretty happy with that balance. And right now I work every muscle group a little bit every day because you need to do a certain amount of sets per muscle group per week. But I do have a like push-pull leg core focus in that. So like I'll work those groups harder on those days while every other group is basically just accessory work, which so far has seemed to be working for me. So loving that. And we're seeing how that's going to go. Switching gears here, eyeshadow makes me really nervous. I have never really been good at eyeshadow. And it's never been something that like I've watched YouTube videos on or like tutorials or anything. I just kind of like practice and see what works and what doesn't while I'm doing it. So that's a thing. I mean, makeup videos and transitions and cool things always come across my feed because I think makeup is beautiful and really fun. And I like the idea of learning how to do it and being good at my own makeup. But I've never like I said, watched the like tutorials on like how to actually make the look happen. I just like seeing the finished product. So eventually I'll look up a tutorial and I'll follow a tutorial to see. But for today, I am just doing what I know. Because I know that I won't have to remove my whole face of makeup for doing eyeshadow this way. And then I'm a huge like corner brightening person. I like to definitely add brightness to the corners of my eyes. Okay. Now for blush before I go off and like finish the eyes. This blush I've had for like 7 years, maybe 10 years. I went through a good solid stint of like not wearing makeup at all. And it was also conveniently in a time where I was super jacked because I was just sweating it all off right away. And I also didn't have good quality makeup, so I didn't know that I could have makeup that would stay. And I just didn't have the time. But especially now that I'm trying to prioritize confidence and feeling good in the ways that I can control, makeup is one of those. Because even on days where I don't go to the gym, but I wake up feeling a little less comfy in my body and my symptoms are a little high, makeup is always fun and feels nice. And it just like adds a little uplifting tone to my day, which is why I'm doing it. Now, brows. I was supposed to have plans today with my friends after the gym, but I never heard back, so I don't know if it's happening or not. And if it's not happening, I am going to try resin for the first time because I bought resin and a little kit with like mica powder and all the tools you need. And I think it would just really elevate my art, so I'm really excited to give a shot. And I might film it, and I might not. I haven't decided yet. But I think that it'll be really, really fun. And that seems like just as fun of a plan as if I was about to go out with my friends. And one of the options for our hangout was hanging out at my house and doing like a crafty night anyway, or crafty day anyway. So, on par plans. I also have 2 videos that I could edit, which I might do. Okay, eyeliner 1, done. Eyeliner 2. Oh, another thing that happened the same day of my rheumatology appointment is I had to go to the dentist and get a cracked tooth fixed. They originally didn't think it was a cracked tooth, so at first they just like filed down where they had worked prior on a filling and made sure that my bite wasn't too high and that wasn't causing the issue. And 4 days later, I was still in a lot of pain. So they found out that it was a cracked tooth, which they fixed. And yesterday I got to eat without tooth and jaw pain for the first time. And that was really nice. So that was another positive of the day that I think was really awesome. Because I am a huge food person. I love eating food. I love cooking good food. And it's just so good that it was really sad that I wasn't able to like eat or enjoy food because of the mouth pain. And I am so stoked that I can go back to enjoying food. So, as I'm coming to the end of my makeup day, or makeup time in the day, I think that it would be really awesome if anybody had any recommendations for fibromyalgia strategies, or for makeup strategies, or for epoxy resin strategies. Let me know and share them in the comments, because I'm always looking to learn and grow, and I think that it would be really cool to learn something that you guys suggest. All that's left is my lipstick. So I'm going to sign off, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, inspired, and intentional day.